I know. Hey everybody, welcome to Picks and Parlays. I am your boy Detroit Lenny. I'm joined with our expert handicapper on the NBA. As far as the NBA goes, expert handicapper. Don't get carried away. Tim Earl. We're going to talk some shooting hoops. This is a shooting hoops show. It's all NBA all the time, the whole show. We're going to talk some different strategies here for you, some different angles you guys might want to look at. Top 5 offensive team, who's hot, who's not. Total trend we talked about last week with the unders. We're going to touch base on that, see if it's still going. But first and foremost, Tim, how we looking today? What we got? Give us a little live update on scores today, right now.
Let's see. So none of the games cashed yet. None of the games are finalized.
Right.
So for today, games that are going on, I have the Wizards, which they look good, and then they scored 14 points in the third quarter and kind of went from there. They're down 10 now. That's going to be a loser. I have the under in that Pacers game. That one went from a 211 to dropped all the way down, I think, to 204 at one point. That one's going to go way under. That one looks good. I think the live one for that's like 190 something. So
196.5 live total.
Beautiful. I'll count that one as a winner. I have the Cavaliers plus 11. I got it early at plus 11. It dropped down to 9 by game time. So that kind of worked out a little bit in my favor. Are you guys going to do anything? All right, so that... Oh, Albany... Sorry, real quick, college basketball. Albany just made a... Of course they fouled. Never mind. It's whatever. I was about to say they're about to cover...
That's what college basketball does to you. Gives you a little bit of hope in there. Rips your heart out.
No, Albany just got a layup with like 2 seconds to go. Instead of down 7, they're down 5, and I have them plus 6. And then they foul. So and then they foul with 1.3 seconds left. Like that's going to make a difference, and I'm not going to cash that one. But anyways, back to the NBA. Cavaliers currently down 15, so not terrible. Could be worse. I have the Lakers plus 9. They're currently down 10, still third quarter, so that's possible. And then the under in that Kings game, it's not even halftime. I'm going to count it as a winner.
Don't do that.
It's currently 40-36. Yeah,
I know.
Albany just lost by 7. I had them plus 6. That's annoying. That BS foul that meant absolutely nothing and cost me my bet. I love it. And then later on tonight, I got the under in that Spurs game, which after Luka got ruled out, it went from 220 down to 212. So happy with that one. And then I have the under in the Bulls game as well. So we'll see how those bets go for today.
Now, real quick, let's get some housekeeping issues out of the or not issues, but things out of the way. We are so close to 1,000 members on Morningwood. We're almost at 1,000. We're I think I'm going to do a live check-in on that, but last time I looked,
960 something, I thought.
It was 970 this morning.
Oh.
So it is 974. So we need 26 members. Live look right now is that 974. Go. So if you haven't already joined, if you're watching this stream and you haven't already joined Morningwood, you should. Facebook.com /groups/Morningwood Picks. If you have, share it out to your friends. You'd be surprised who would be interested in some content for free betting. So join the Facebook Morningwood page. It's awesome. There's contests going on every day there, it seems like. Not to mention there's a lot of free shows, a lot of free content, just free pick videos, stuff like that. So let's get that out of the way. We went over live action. Let's start right here. Top 5 teams against the spread. We kind of touched base on this last week. These are teams that you guys maybe want to follow. Thoughts?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, top 5 kind of against the spread. So these are teams that are covering. Last week we went through them. This week Tim's going to go over them again. You're over there. So I'm going to stop pointing that way because you're over there. So go ahead. Hit that up. Talk to us about that a little bit.
Yeah, just looking into them, these are the teams that are the best against the spread at the moment. Obviously, one of them is going to drop down because Washington will end up moving to 9-5. I have them at number 3. They're 9-4 right now. They're down by 10 with 1 minute and 52 seconds to go. That one's going to be a loser, so they're going to end up dropping. But top 2 teams, Miami. The Miami Heat have just been they've been winning and they've been covering. They're one of the better teams right now. In terms of all that stuff. Chicago, 10-4 against the spread.
Right.
They've been solid throughout pretty much this entire season. Washington, Golden State, 9-4-1 against the spread this year, so they've been pretty solid. And then Cleveland, mention them again. They got absolutely riddled with injuries now. They lost Evan Mobley. Jared Allen is sick right now. Colin Sexton is out for a while. So they kind of got hit hard, but they're still a scrappy team. They're still covering spreads. That one's still only a 14-point game with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So that one's still got some legs on it as well. So hopefully they can cover it, and then they would probably move up to close to number one in the against the spread if they cover tonight. So hopefully they can manufacture something there, but we'll see.
Oh, my Pistons are within point. Sorry. I'm just kind of
watching. I got the under in that game, so as long as the under works, that's all I care about.
81-80 with 6:45 left. So,
I'm already good with that one. I think
you're going to be good with that one.
They would need to score like 50 points in 7 minutes. I'm not concerned.
Right. Speaking of top teams against the spread, does this kind of correlate the top 5 teams against the spread, or not necessarily the top 5 offensive teams? No. Yes, nope. Maybe so.
That would more correlate with the teams that will go over more often.
Okay.
And there's only one team that's in top 5 for both categories that are going over the top teams against the spread and top offensive teams. And the only one that's there is Golden State. Golden State's the best offensive team right now. They're scoring a little bit over 115 points per game. So they would be currently the number 1 team in terms of points per game. Charlotte up there as well, 113. A team that, and then the next 2 teams I bet unders for tonight, and they're one of the top offensive teams. Sacramento, 111.5, and Phoenix, 111. And then Utah will round out the top 5. They're about 110.8 points per game. So give an idea of where these teams are scoring. And try to correlate those with look for overs, even though I said I went under on 2 of those 5 teams tonight. But normally try to correlate those 2 team total overs if you're interested in those. I know I bet a little bit of team totals, but that's mostly me betting Detroit team total under, or Orlando team total under, or Oklahoma, just the bad teams team total under, the ones that struggle to score. Those are the only real teams that I'm like betting team totals for. If I really like a total in a game, I'll just go after the regular total, not the team total most of the time. But I'm more of a total guy rather than a team total.
Fair enough. So. Speaking of totals, we talked about this last week on Shootin' Hoops, and I want to mention it again, and I'm glad we talked about this pregame. But the total trends you're looking at last week was the unders. A lot of unders hitting. Is that continuing, or are we seeing that tail off, or the market catching up, or vice versa? Like, what are your thoughts?
I will say it's not as there as it was last week.
It's not as predominant kind of thing.
Last week it was around 62, 63%. It's dropped down to about 60.5%. So a little bit of a move, a little bit more towards overs. I'm still betting a lot of unders. I have four unders on tonight's slate alone. So it's more of a bet unders until it evens itself out, and then really start to look at it. Me and Nick have a formula that we've kind of used and adapted to the point where it's we've used the certain formula to get totals for basketball, whether it's the NBA, WNBA, college, freaking overseas, European, Argentina, Brazil, all the different basketballs. We've just tried them out, and it's been fun to do that because it's always fun to see, like, me and my brother created like this formula that we've been using, and it still hits at 60 to 65%. I've already hit the first 2 totals this year using that formula in the college basketball. And
I was just going to say, is that so that transfers over WNBA, NBA, college basketball?
Everything.
It's just the math is the math. And okay, that's interesting. I like that. I like stuff like that. That's a rabbit hole I'll go down every day. You know what I mean? So go ahead, continue though.
But there's just been a lot of unders this year. Whether or not it's a slow start for all the teams or they're playing better defensively, I still more correlate it to that foul rule. But it's just a lot of unders this year, and I think they continue, at least for a little bit, until the market really starts hitting in on them.
We got to jump over to the chat and say hi to Chris. Chris is freaking out, man. Freaking out. All he needs is the Knicks money line, which, let's see where the Knicks are at right now. Are they playing
Knicks
currently?
Are losing by 8.
Losing by 8. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Suns money line. Are they? I don't think they play yet.
They play at 10 o'clock.
Baylor minus 34.5. I don't have college basketball up.
I'll pull that one up. Let's see.
You look at that one. Nets over 206.5.
Baylor is up 24 points in the beginning of the second half. So that one looks fine.
That one you look good. Okay, so Nets over 206, 73-64, 3 minutes left.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know about that. That could be iffy. UCLA money line, Florida State money line.
Whoa. Yeah, UCLA money line? Dude, that was like a minus 26.
It's probably a parlay.
Probably, but holy crap, that's juicy. Florida State.
Take them on those money lines, though. Florida State.
I don't remember their line. The thing is, I remember the lines I bet, and I don't remember any of the other ones. It's
Florida State's up 37-32 right now, and that's at halftime. They're playing Tulane.
Oh yeah, that one that's going to be a big spread. Florida State. Yeah, we had that one lined around a 19.5 point favorite, so that's probably like a 20 point spread. MSU money line looking good. And then I don't know what the college football games are doing.
College football, Central Michigan was dominating.
They're up 11, and Northern Iowa is now up 7. So
yeah, and Northern Illinois has the ball. And
Northern Illinois, not Iowa.
I'm like Northern Iowa because that's my handicap 10 picks is Northern Illinois and Central Michigan money line, both of them. Bang bang, 2-team parlay. Thank me later. It's all late. Chris, don't freak out. It might be already over, or you could freak out. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know what's up with the shirt. The neck is all stretched out.
Don't freak out over your place. You don't. Yeah. There's no need to freak out.
Freaking out, man.
Most of the time, bet them and forget them. It's the best way to do it.
I'm telling you what, unless it's a home team, like a Detroit team that I'm watching, 75% of these games I don't watch.
I'll scoreboard watch, and that's about it.
I'll scoreboard watch on my phone. I'll check
each morning. Each morning, I'll put in my plays, and then I'll go onto the ESPN app and notification for the game start, halftime, and final.
Yeah.
And I'll go on from time to time and check the scores.
Bulls. Marcus wants to know Bulls, Blazers.
Under.
Fair enough.
I don't have. It would be a lean towards
that
the
game
Bulls.
Starts at 10, right?
Here, let's do a 9 o'clock game time decision right now. Let's go see if Damian Lillard.
What we got for lines.
Damian Lillard will be in tonight. There you go. There's your game time decision for that one.
That's a Shootin' Hoops decision.
Yeah, there you go.
Different show. This guy. NBA. You like the under on that game? I'm gonna pull up some.
Yes, I like the under.
Let's see.
Lakers are within 1 point now.
I'm telling you, I'm trying to find a live bet on some NBA, and I haven't saw
Cavs down 9
value. Cash what?
Cavs are down 9.
Pistons are up 5, 3.5 minutes left.
Hey, I saw a lot of people were on Pacers.
This might be a money line plus 240 Pacer bet.
I will say, if I didn't bet the under in that game, my play would have been the Pistons. I did not like how many people were on Indiana, and the fact that Indiana was only a 6-point favorite against a Detroit team that, no offense, Lenny, has not been good this year.
They're not. They're not.
They're not a good team.
Super slow. Super slow. Hey, there might be value here. Tell me this. Lakers money line has been dropping consistently. It went from 200 to, from what I just said, refresh to minus 175. I'm sorry, plus 175. Went from plus 200 to plus 175 on the money line. Now I know they're up by 1 right now.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
But there's still the whole fourth quarter to play. I might sprinkle a little bit on that. I might sprinkle a little bit on the Pacers money line at plus 230. There's 3.5 minutes left in that game, and I just don't trust the Pistons right now. So until they give me a reason to not trust them, or to trust them, I don't. Let's talk about this though, real quick. Some hot, who's not, kind of stuff. I'm gonna scroll this at the bottom for everybody as well. Let me just do that, and then at the bottom here we got the Phoenix Suns, Washington, Golden State, Brooklyn Clippers. Those are your top 5 hot teams right now.
Yep.
Not teams you should be maybe fading. 76ers, New Orleans, Minnesota, the Rockets. I mean, the Rockets, man. Whew, there's just all kinds.
I meant to put Orlando on there too.
Yeah, but that's kind of like putting Baltimore on the Orioles on a not good baseball team list. It's like, they just kind of stay there.
A quick run through all these teams because I do have some notes on them. Why they're hot, why they're not. Phoenix is the hottest team in the league by far right now. And that kind of, and then the next team I'm going to mention, it kind of just got ruined. But Phoenix has won 9 straight games. They're on to go win 10 straight against a Luka-less Dallas Mavericks team.
Interesting.
That they should very well win tonight, and even though I don't think they cover. I will say I don't think they cover because that line, Luka got ruled out, and yet the line went from 8 to 8. It didn't move.
Why?
Not one bit.
Kind of
not one
scared me off of that game. To be honest with you, because
Nick has Dallas, and I like his bet.
I just scored again. But by the way, Michigan State, I know it's college basketball, but Michigan State did win.
Yes, they did. Yep. I did a free pick video on that for ESB last night, but I did not bet it. Most of the time, my free pick videos, I'll do the big teams that everybody wants to see. So I'll do like the big names, and I'll come up with a play for it. I might not always be betting it. I might be betting it. But I like to always get the big names in there because that's what people want to see. Nobody cares about the Albany's versus freaking nobody. Like nobody cares about like an Albany Harvard game or Texas A&M IUPUI or
IUPUI WXYZ versus Cal Fullerton, Southern Northern California, whatever.
Exactly. The only people who are betting those types of teams are the ones that follow college basketball.
Right.
The ones that know the sport. So I know this is an NBA show. A little snippet of college basketball. Bet the small schools. Learn the small schools. Bet the small schools. There'll be a lot more value on a Harvard and IUPUI game than a Duke Kentucky.
I say this all the time. And we said this. We've been preaching this since the beginning of baseball season, the last season. Find a division. Well, you can, and just run with that. Like, learn it, know it, own it. Okay? You do the same thing in college sports in general. I don't care if it's football. I don't care if it's basketball. You can do that. Find a division or find a conference and own it. As far as the NBA goes, like, I know the East because I'm obviously a Pistons fan. I kind of stick more of my bets to the East. I don't really go towards the West.
I'm more West Coast. That's my strong suit.
And if you know it, like you know it. It's not saying you can't bet on the Lakers game or whatever because they're in the West. I'm not saying that, but know your conference. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I will say I'm more on the West Coast for basketball. I do both. Yeah.
Testify.
I do both, but most of my plays are later on at night because. Giannis has been hot because I know the teams like the Golden State Warriors, like the Denver Nuggets, Sacramento Kings. I know the out West teams because I follow them more because the Western Conference, newsflash, is a lot more competitive than the Eastern Conference. It's not even close. You can list out the best team in the East, and I think 5 to 6 teams in the West could beat them in a best of 7. Easily.
I will say easily. You threw me off. Maybe not. You lost me at easily.
Easily might not be a good word for it.
I would say the top 2 to 3. I wouldn't go as far as 5 to 6.
Say if you threw the Brooklyn Nets in a NBA final because I mean they're one of the best teams right now. I'm not going to throw Washington, not going to throw Chicago or Brooklyn Nets or Chicago, one of the two. Take them. I think if we go into a 7-game series, the Golden State Warriors beat either of them. Obviously,
right now I think Golden State could beat anybody.
Golden State would beat either of them. Phoenix would beat either of them. Utah would beat either of them. Denver would beat either of them. The Clippers with a healthy Kawhi will beat any of them. Lakers, as much as I shit on them, will beat any of them as long as LeBron's in there. Dallas, as long as Luka's in there, they would have a shot. Honestly, this Western Conference is a lot deeper. If Portland is on and shooting, they could probably beat them. Memphis is a sneaky team. I love the Nuggets this year.
I know you've been all over.
I've been on the Nuggets. Yeah. They're a good team.
I can't help it.
They're a good defensive team. That's one of the teams I specialize with out west. Is I love I know the Denver Nuggets as more than any team in the league right now because I've been following. Jokic MVP. Once Murray comes back,
that's big on him. Yeah.
Once Murray comes back, that team is going to be solid. Michael Porter Jr. has been amazing. He's out with a back injury right now that kept him out the first year and a half of his career, but he's been fantastic this year. The backcourt of Marcus Morris and Will Barton has been fantastic. This team overall is just really solid, and the big thing that it has that not a lot of teams have, a bench and a deep bench, especially when Murray comes back. They will have a very deep bench. The fact that Monte Morris will be able to run that second unit on the court and run the bench players. That is fantastic. So I really think because coming into the season, I was high on a couple of teams. Denver, I'm always high on. I was high on Atlanta because I figured they'd have a deep bench, and they haven't. They've had injuries.
Early, a lot of basketball left. Right, but they've definitely started slower than expected.
And that's why I'm not high on teams like Brooklyn, like the Lakers, because they have their big three, and that is it. They have nothing on the bench afterwards. Fair Washington, enough. Really good team, deep bench. I like them. Cleveland, when everybody's healthy, scrappy team, deep bench. They're really good. Miami has a sort of big three, but they have a deep bench. They have a bench to go along with it. Those teams are the ones that are going to go further in the thing, and you're not going to see many of the big three teams be successful. Obviously, you saw like the Golden State Warriors have their era, but that's kind of a different story. So,
Pistons might pull off this win against those Pacers. It's 96-88 with 40 seconds left. So I think your under is good. Let's talk about this real quick, touch base on these, and then we'll bounce on out of here. First take on Thursday's games. There's 6 games on the slate for tomorrow. I only have spreads on 3 of them so far. Clippers 1.5 favorite over the Grizzlies. Spurs 2-point underdog to Timberwolves at home, and the Nuggets are an 8-point favorite at home against the 76ers. Just quick 60-second glance at some of these. You see anything that stands out at you? Maybe that jumps off the page a little bit?
I will have a bet on the Denver Nuggets. That I know because we were listing off who's not hot. Philly. Philly is not hot. No, Philly has
who's not? Yeah,
has lost 5 straight games. I don't believe they played tonight. No, they don't play tonight. So both teams have a little bit of rest. Joel Embiid is probably still going to be out. And this Denver Nuggets team, Will Barton might be up, but I feel like this Denver team's a lot deeper than Philly. And I will mention this over and over again. Denver this year. I just clicked out of a bunch of my tabs. That's fantastic. Denver this year. Will be, and this will be my take. They will be the best home team in the NBA. Denver will be the best home team in the NBA. They're 7-1 to start off the year. Only team to beat them at home was Cleveland, and that was during their hot run where they took out a couple of they won straight out against a couple of teams that they were like 9-point dogs. So
nice, not
a bad loss there. This Nuggets team, it is very, very difficult to go into Denver, into altitude, into that ball arena and win. I will be on the Philadelphia 76ers. Most likely a lean towards the Clippers. Well, I'm still going to run my numbers through them. Still got to run my total numbers. Some games still going on, so I can't really run them just yet. Most likely it would be on the Warriors in Cleveland tomorrow. just because Cleveland on the second leg of a back-to-back. Probably same deal. I'll probably be on the Heat tomorrow versus the Wizards. The Wizards back-to-back on the road. Probably, I'm not sure about that Spurs game yet. And the Jazz Raptors, I got to see on the line with that one. Utah is going to be another really good home team because that stadium is also up in the altitude area. And that's a very tough place to play as well. So Denver, Utah, top 2 home teams this year. Ready?
Fair enough. I love it. Jock says, Supness. That's also Lex Steele. Same dude. Supness. Now we can start the show and we can end it. That's going to do it for us for Shootin' Hoops. We are here every, what's today, Wednesday? Yeah, today's Wednesday. Yep. So we're here every Wednesday, 9 o'clock Eastern time, 6 o'clock Pacific. Look at me learning time zones. Me, Tim Earl, we're going to go over all your NBA needs, wants, questions, everything like that. Just more picks, more angles, more who's hot, who's not, all that. Total trends. We'll see if that under continues. Other than that, you guys, good luck on all your bets. We're going to take on out of here. We'll see you next Wednesday. Good luck on everything, unless you're against us.
Yep.